Welcome back, gamers, to another JGM Gaming video. With Phase 2 of Wrath of the Lich King potentially just weeks away, I wanted to share some gold making investments that you can start buying up, ready to resell when Phase 2 goes live. So a lot of these investments will revolve around buying the materials that people will need when they're crafting Ulduar recipes. So I'll just put a few examples of these on screen now so you can see what people will be crafting and then the materials that will be required to craft those. So we have the blue belt of chaos, belt of dragons, boots of living scale. We also have footpads of silence, death warmed belt and cord of the white dawn. And some more in-demand recipes will be the Spellslinger's Slippers and the Sash of Ancient Power as well. So let's get into the materials that will be needed for those and why they're going to be good investments to make ready for Phase 2's release. So starting off with some blue items, we have Arctic Fur, which has a roughly 1% chance to drop when skinning mobs in Northrend. Currently this is in high supply due to the fact that people are still leveling alts and such. It's currently in fairly low demand as well, but will be in high demand come Phase 2 when less people are leveling, and of course people will be wanting those recipes that we just spoke about, which do require a number of Arctic Furs to craft. The next three items that I would recommend to invest in are Tailoring Blues that are crafted with 4-day cooldowns. So they are quite hard to get, I guess. If you have a high tailoring level, then you can buy the mats to craft these yourself, or simply buy them off the auction house for a decent price to resell later. So these items are Eben Weave or Ebon Weave, Spell Weave, and Moon Shroud. And I would recommend mainly stocking up on Moon Shroud, as that will be the more in-demand one, I think, come Phase 2. The next few items are regular white common items that you loot from skinning. These are super easy to farm, or you can currently buy them really cheap from the auction house as well. That's your choice. In my Wrath of the Lich King skinning gold making video, I do show an amazing spot for farming the Jormungandr scales. Once again, the supply of these three items is very high right now, so despite them being super easy to farm, the price will go up once people are leveling less in Phase 2. So I would recommend stocking up on these whilst they're cheap and store them on a bank alt until Phase 2, where you can resell them for a profit. And these items are the Icy Dragon Scales, the Nerubian Chitin, I don't know how you say that one, and the Jormungandr Scale. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation of that one as well because I'm not Norwegian or wherever that's from. So yeah, you want to get those three from skinning or from the auction house to resell later. And another one that I'll recommend for the crafting is Eternal Shadow. This is also going to be used in the Ulduar recipes, and once again, prices are currently really cheap on most Realms auction houses, so you can stock up on these and resell them later for a profit. Finally, I would recommend stocking up on flasks. These would be the Flask of Endless Rage, Flask of the Frostworm, and potentially also Potions of Speed and Potions of Wild Magic. I'm aware they're not flasks, they're potions, but they fall into the same category here. People will of course be using flasks when Ulduar releases, so these will rise in demand with the release of new content, and I'm sure that's going to be true throughout the expansion as well, not just necessarily for Phase 2. Tanks and healers, of course, receive flasks in the heroic dungeon drops at the end of the dungeon when they get the little present. So these should be in high supply right now with people running heroics and gearing up characters and alts. So we'll be taking advantage of the low price for our Phase 2 investments with these. And so these are the main two flasks here, the Flask of Endless Rage and the Flask of the Frostworm. But as I mentioned, there are also the Potion of Speed and Potion of Wild Magic, which are also going to be in demand for content as well. And then following on from those two potions, the Pygmy Oil and the Pygmy Suckerfish, which are used in crafting those potions. So I anticipate their value will rise as well. So it might be useful to pick up some of those alongside the flasks and sell, as well as selling the flasks, you'll also be able to sell the mats that are used to create those flasks as well when the demand rises with the release of Phase 2. And so they're my top recommendations for now for the Phase 2 investments. If this is a decent video, I might do this for Phase 3 and 4 and future content. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you in the next video.